Good morning, my sweet, sweet friends. We are out here in my backyard on my patio, and it's probably going to be kind of loud. There's a lot going on. So pardon me for all the sounds. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But I was sitting here and I wanted to talk to you all today about being still, because I think we forget about that a lot. And I know I have been forgetting about that a lot. As I said in my last video, there's an airplane going overhead. I had a lot of, I had left for about a month from YouTube because God was putting on my heart that I was spending entirely too much time and energy, not just time scrolling, but my energy and my priority was becoming social media, and I wasn't that person prior to starting YouTube. So I knew I had to give up. There's a wasp over me, so if you see me shriek, I'm sorry, but I'm allergic to wasps. I'm not afraid of them because as long as I leave them alone, I know they're okay. But anyways, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but he was just dealing with me. But instead of making him the priority, I still was having some struggles with getting settled. I felt very unsettled, disconnected, like I didn't want to talk to people. It was like it was almost draining for me to go places and do things and talk to people, if that makes sense, because I just felt like my energy was just gone. Like I had no life in me. I was just, like I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to do that. But instead of listening to what I think now was just God trying to get me to be still, I know it was God trying to get me to be still. I'm going to cry. Sorry. You know me, I'm a whiner. But I know it was him trying to get me to be still because he kept telling me, don't do this, don't do that. And I felt it in my heart, and I was still doing it. We were so consumed with being busy and doing things. And, if I wasn't doing anything, then I was just trying to rest up from, my pain, from doing things. And so I was not being still. And when I say be still, I was not sitting with him. I would read the Bible or listen to a sermon, and I was going back to old habits of allowing things to spoon feed me instead of just spending time with him. And not that those are bad things for me, because I've learned a lot through that, but I know that there's a little lizard on the wall over here. I think they're so cute. I had one in my shoe one time. That scared me. But anyway, squirrel. But yeah, I was just, I'm not been just still with the Lord. I've not just sat and listened and felt and just to be. I've been very in my head and very trying to, I think, take control back. I don't ever get control back because I pretty much let go. But I know that that's my flesh sometimes scratching at me, but like, you need to take control of it. You need to take control of it. I don't want control. Control is what got me into severe anxiety, severe PTSD, severe night, panic attacks, severe everything. It was the core center of my problem was the worship of control. And I noticed just this morning, just sitting here outside, praying, and just listening to the birds and the wind gently blowing and all the sounds. And I realized that this world, this, not the world itself, but creation, is our connection to God. And that's always how I've connected with him, through music and through nature. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to cry on y'all. It's been an emotional morning. So, but yeah, I haven't been still. I haven't been sitting with him. I haven't been in nature. I haven't given him a chance to be with me because I've been busy. And I never want to be too busy for him, ever. And I have been. And I've had my priorities out of line. And I don't want to do that anymore because I lose connection. I lose energy. Like, he is my strength. And if I'm not in him and I don't allow him to be with me, then it's like the life gets sucked out of me somehow. And I just couldn't figure out why I felt so drained. And it wasn't like exhaustion or tired. I wasn't tired or exhausted. I mean, other than from work and being busy and doing stuff and taking care of the grandbaby and, dealing with family issues that we're dealing with right now. Because we have a lot going on in all three of my kids' lives. There's a lot going on, and it's overwhelming, but I know God's plan, and I know God's plan's bigger, and I don't worry, actually, I guess. I don't worry about it. I know that whatever happens will be his will, and we'll get through it, but it doesn't mean that, it doesn't have an effect on my life. Physically it does. But I just felt like drained from socially, like emotionally, just like I just didn't have anything to give anybody. I just didn't have anything in me. I was just empty. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. It was like, I'm empty. I, would get up and not want to go to Bible study. I would not want to go places. There was a couple weeks where my husband's like, do you think you're going to leave the house at some point? But driving was just draining. Going to the grocery store was draining. And I thought, what is wrong with me? Am I sick? Is something wrong? And that wasn't it at all. I wasn't, where I get my strength is through the Lord. And I wasn't just sitting with him. I wasn't being still. I wasn't being with him, and I know I'm not upset, and I know I'm crying, I get tearful, but you have to understand I'm menopausal, so that doesn't help. And I love the Lord with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. And I would, for him, I would. And I just, when I'm not plugged in to that relationship all the way, then there's no way for me to charge. There's no way for me to have power. So for me, I have to stay plugged in. I have to stay connected because my environment doesn't keep me charged. You know what I mean? Like, if I come from a home where we all were of the same faith and we all prayed together, and it's really true. The family that prays together stays together. I really believe that. Doesn't mean there isn't bumps, bruises, and hiccups, but I really, truly believe that. It doesn't make it easy, but it makes it better because it's not just you in the marriage, it's not just you and your spouse and your children. It's, you have somebody that's much greater than you that can help. And so, I don't have that kind of environment. So for me, I have to stay plugged in. I have to constantly have that power source. And I had gotten unplugged. Somebody tripped over my cord and knocked me loose. So that's just where I'm at today. Guys, I come out here and I sit and listening to the birds, and if you can, I know it's a rat race trying to pay bills, and there's so much going on in this world today that is super stressful and anxiety riddling. And I know there's single parents out there, and just different areas of life that people are in, and seasons of life that keep them from doing certain things. But I encourage you that if you're feeling like you're disconnected, like you just emotionally don't have anything left for anybody, I encourage you to go sit early in the morning. And I mean early in the morning, not but crack of dawn, but as early as you can, and listen to the birds and feel the breeze and just sit there and be still and have a conversation with the Lord. Sometimes you just need to be quiet for just a minute, or longer. But when you breathe deep and you listen, the bird songs and the rush of the wind is such a good connection. And we just get too busy. We get too busy and we trip over our own cords and unplug ourselves. And we forget to listen and be still. And that's what I'm going to work on this week. So I encourage you to work on being still. I wanted to also give you a little tip that I have. And I don't know that any of you out there are really looking for something like this. But, as we've been talking about the whole church saga thing and me going to church, I am still kind of in between that one church and then my mega church, my large church. And I'm leaning towards the smaller church, but I'm still there. I'm still trying to figure out where I want to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the smaller church. Pretty positive it's going to be the smaller church, but that's something I'm still weighing and talking to the Lord about. And, I don't want to look at it lightly, because I know some people just think that's just go to that church if you want to, but it's not that way. I've had a commitment and much time and investment put into that church and a lot of the people there. So the good thing is I can stay in my Bible study and still attend the other church. So that helps. So I don't get to lose those people in my life. But anyhow, not that I'll lose anybody, but anybody really. I don't have any friends other than you guys are my friends. And I love that. That's why I do this, is because I've got great people that I've met and I'm very blessed. But I wanted to tell you about an online church that I have currently been watching, because I am over the milk. I don't need to be told, anymore about Jesus's love and his, and salvation, because I'm there. But I do need to be taught what I need to look like to other people who aren't there yet, or are just starting that journey with the Lord. So, you really need the meat and potatoes of the word, the truth of the word. As hard as it is for us to swallow sometimes, it is what we need. So, and that's what I've been searching for, is someone who will just preach the truth, as it is in the scripture. As difficult it is to talk about, it needs to be the truth. And whether some people if you get offended, you get offended. So, Jesus offended people everywhere. They crucified him. So, but I have come across a church, and you guys have, if you're on a lot of social media and you follow a lot of Christian accounts, you've probably seen him. If you follow my Facebook or my Instagram, I have posted some of his videos, but I think his name is Philip Mitchell, and he pastors Church 2819 in Atlanta, Georgia. And the 2819 stands for the Great Commission. It's Matthew 28:19. So that's why they named their church. It used to be called Victory Church, and they rebranded. And God called him to called the name through, give him the name 2819. So if you're looking to learn and to really know the truth and to really hear the hard stuff, because sometimes it's not easy to hear the truth, but it is so gratifying, and it grows you so much, so that you have confidence in your faith. You have confidence with your walk with Christ, and you have confidence that what he says is what you're trying to do. Now we fall. We're going to have issues because we're sinful creatures. Sorry if I keep shaking you. I keep smacking my Bible, but it is a wonderful platform that he has to just tell the truth. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I'm back. My husband called me. We have some issues with our air conditioning unit that we just put in last spring. So we're both a little on edge about it. But anyways, so I was talking about Philip Anthony Mitchell. That's his name, at Church 2819. I'll link the church YouTube page in my description. But if you have a chance, go over there and listen to it. It's great. It's good information, and he is good at listening to God and preaching only the word, and I mean only the word. So anyhow, that's my tip for you today. Go over and watch Philip Anthony Mitchell, 2819 Church, and then also remember to get outside, be still, listen to the birds, let the breeze blow across you, and just be still with God and let God talk to you, and you can talk to God and plug back in, because we need to be charged, and he's our power source. So I got to keep that in my mind. So I'm not upset with myself. I just, it's just something that needs to be done. And I forget from time to time that that's where I find my energy. That's where I find my endurance and my peace, is through him. So I need to be connected to him to maintain that. And now that I realize that that's what's been going on, and I'm not losing my mind, and I'm not going through something really bad, I'm not sick. It's just, I just need to be charged. I need to plug in. So I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your week. I'm not sure when the next video will be out. I'm hoping I might get one out Friday, but if not, it'll be next Monday. So I'd like to do 3 a week, but it's just, I don't want to get consumed with it. So we're going to stick to probably just 2 videos a week at this point. And then if God gives me the grace and the ability, we'll go from there. Because I have some ideas. It's executing them, because I'm constantly doing things for other people, and it's hard for me to get away from people to be able to film. I'm always doing and going, and even when I'm not, that's my kind of my rest time, because I am before that. So it's a whole big thing. I had to go yesterday to get my wound looked at, because I'm pretty sure it was infected, my power washer wound. So they put me on some antibiotics. So I'm kind of getting that done. I want to get in the pool. Can't get in the pool, and it's nice and hot this week, and I can't get in the pool because of the wound. So there's that. But I'm thankful I have it. I'll be able to get in it soon, I'm sure. So I've already been in it once. It's just a little cold. But I love you all. Again, have a beautiful week. Remember, check out Philip Anthony Mitchell, 2819 Church. be still, sit with the Lord, let him love on you, recharge, get connected so that you can love yourself and love others. And by the way, that reminds me, live a quiet life, work with your hands, mind your own business, love God and love others, and you'll be okay. I love you so very much, and God loves you too. I will talk to you soon. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.